Hello students, this is our paper first EVS-1101 Fundamentals of Environment Science first. Okay, so this is our unit 4, that is lithosphere. Okay, so firstly their introduction and definition of lithosphere. Okay, the rigid outer part of the earth consisting of the crust and upper mantle. Okay, then lithosphere is defined as the rock and crust surface that covers the earth. सो जे पण रॉकी मटेरियल असेल किंवा क्रस्ट सरफेस जो आहे अर्थवरचा किंवा अर्थवर जो रॉकी किंवा क्रस्ट सरफेसने कवर केलेला जो एरिया आहे, ओके, सो त्याला आपण लिथोस्फिअर म्हणतो. A lithosphere, lithos means rocky and sphere means layers, is the rigid outermost shell of the terrestrial type planet or natural satellite that is defined by its rigid mechanical properties. Okay, on earth it is composed of the crust and the portion of the upper mantle that behaves elastically on time scales of thousands of years or greater. Okay, the outermost shell of a rocky planet, the crust is defined on the basis of its chemistry and mineralogy. Okay, so जो पण अर्थवर असणारा जो रॉकी एरिया आहे किंवा जे पण रॉक्स आहेत किंवा क्रस्ट आहे, सॉईल आहे, जो या सगळ्यांनी जो कव्हर केलेला अर्थवरचा जो एरिया आहे, ओके, सो त्याला आपण लिथोस्फिअर म्हणतो. सो Earth lithosphere include the crust and the uppermost mantle, which constitutes the hard and rigid outer layer of the earth. Okay, जे पण crust आहे, crust means the lithosphere is the rocky outer part of the earth. It is made up of brittle crust and the top part of the upper mantle. Okay, the lithosphere is the coolest and most rigid part of the earth, that is crust. क्रस्ट आणि जे पण मॅन्टल आहे, द लिथॉस्फिअर इन्क्लूड द ब्रिटल अप्पर पोर्शन ऑफ द मॅन्टल अँड द क्रस्ट द आउटर मोस्ट लेअर ऑफ अर्थ स्ट्रक्चर. ओके, सो जे पण हे क्रस्ट आहे आणि अप्पर मोस्ट पार्ट ऑफ मॅन्टल, सो ह्या सगळ्याने विच कॉन्स्टिट्यूट द हार्ड अँड रिजिड आउटर लेअर ऑफ द अर्थ. सो हे सगळं अर्थ लिथॉस्फिअरमध्ये इन्क्लूड आहे. क्रस्ट असेल, मॅन्टल असेल, कोर असेल. ओके, the lithosphere is subdivided into tectonic plates. The uppermost part of the lithosphere that chemically reacts to the atmosphere, hydrosphere and biosphere. Okay, through the soil forming process is called the pedosphere. So pedosphere means the uppermost part of the lithosphere that chemically react to the atmosphere असेल, hydrosphere असेल आणि biosphere. Okay, through the soil formation kiva soil forming process is called pedosphere. The lithosphere is underlain by the asthenosphere, which is the weaker, hotter and deeper part of the upper mantle. So asthenosphere is the upper layer of the earth mantle below the lithosphere, in which there is relatively low resistance to plastic flow and convection is through to occur. So that is asthenosphere. Okay, the lithosphere asthenosphere boundary is defined by a difference in response to stress. The lithosphere remains rigid for very long period of geologic time, in which it deforms elastically and through brittle failure, while the asthenosphere deforms viscously and accommodates strain through plastic deformation. This is earth lithosphere. So their history of lithosphere. The concept of the lithosphere as earth's strong outer layer was described by A.E.H. Lau in his 1911 monograph Some Problems of Geodynamics, and further developed by Joseph Barrel. Okay, Joseph Barrel is the main scientist of the lithosphere, who wrote a series of papers about the concept and introduction to the term lithosphere. The concept was based on the presence of significant gravity anomalies over continental crust from which he inferred that there must exist a strong solid upper layer which he called the lithosphere, above a weaker layer which could flow, which he called the asthenosphere. These ideas were expanded by Reginald Aldworth Daly in 1940 with his seminal work Strength and Structure of the Earth. They have been broadly accepted by geologists and geophysicists. This concept of a strong lithosphere resting on a weak asthenosphere are essential to the theory of plate tectonic. So this is the structure of lithosphere. This is a diagram or structure or figure of lithosphere. Okay, so see this picture. Firstly here core, then mantle, and here firstly crust. Crust scale is 0 to 100 kilometer. Okay, this is thick, and here scale is 6378 kilometers. Okay, so firstly inner core, this is solid, 51,000 kilometer. Then outer core, this is 2,900 kilometer, this is liquid. And then mantle. Okay, so here asthenosphere is also present, then mantle, lithosphere, crust, and uppermost solid mantle. Okay, components of lithosphere. There are three main components of lithosphere. Lithosphere, the solid part of the earth, it consists of three main layers. Okay, so crust, mantle, and core. So crust, the lithosphere is the rocky outer part of the earth. It is made up of the brittle crust and the top part of the upper mantle. The lithosphere is the coolest and most rigid part of the earth. Okay, so हे जे crust दिसतोय तुम्हाला, okay, the lithosphere is the rocky outer part of the earth. Okay, it is made up of the brittle crust and the top part of the upper mantle. The lithosphere is the coolest and most rigid part of the earth. Okay, then mantle. So mantle is the lithosphere includes the brittle upper portion of the mantle and the crust, the outermost layer of the earth surface, right? Then core. So core is the mostly iron matter. जो सगळा आतमधला जो पार्ट आहे, इनर कोअर असेल किंवा आउटर कोअर असेल. ओके, सो त्यामध्ये जो पण असणारा पार्ट आहे, सो दिस इज आयर्न मेटल. ओके, सो कोअर इज दी मोस्टली आयर्न मेटल. Finally, the core is mostly iron metal. The core makes up about 31% of the earth. Lithosphere and asthenosphere are divisions based on mechanical properties. The lithosphere is composed of both the crust and the portion of the upper mantle that behaves as a brittle, rigid solid. Okay. So then next, earth layers. Okay. So crust is 0 to 50 kilometers. Okay, then mantle 50 to 2,900 kilometer. Then outer core is 2,900 to 51,000 kilometers. Then inner core is 51,000 to 6,371 kilometers. Okay, so see this picture. Core is 33% of the earth mass. Then mantle is 67% of the earth mass, and crust is less than 1% of the earth mass. Okay, so these are the earth layers. So composition of the earth layer. Firstly, the inner core is made of solid nickel and iron. Okay, सगळं जो येलोइश पार्ट दिसतोय सगळ्यात आतमधला, द इनर कोर called as inner core is made of solid nickel and iron. Okay, so then next one, orange जो part आहे, the outer core is made of hot liquid nickel and iron. Okay, आणि जो हा reddish part आहे, the mantle is hot part melted and part solid iron and magnesium. जो पण hot part असेल किंवा जो पण मेल्ट झालेला जो पार्ट आहे, solid iron and magnesium. Okay, and then last one, blue जो तुम्हाला पार्ट दिसतोय, the crust is made of soil, water and rock. ओके, सगळ्यात लास्टचा किंवा हा आपण आत्ता जो इथे बघितला सगळ्यात वरचा जो रॉकी एरिया असेल किंवा थोडासा जो वरती ब्लूइश तुम्हाला पार्ट दिसतोय पाण्याचा एरिया. ओके, सो दॅट इज द crust is made of soil, water and rock. Okay, then the crust, the earth crust is like the skin of an apple. It is very thin compared to the other three layers. Okay, the crust makes up 1% of the earth. The crust of the earth is broken into many pieces called प्लेट्स. ओके, जो पण ज्या पण ब्रोक झालेले जे पण अर्थ आहे किंवा क्रस्ट आहे सो त्या पीसेसला आपण काय म्हणतो आहे प्लेट्स. ओके, सो डायग्राममध्ये बघा जो येल्लोइश पार्ट आहे दॅट इज आउटर कोर, देन जो व्हाईट पार्ट आहे सगळ्यात मधला दॅट इज इनर कोर, देन रेडिश इज मॅन्टल अँड लास्ट वन इज क्रस्ट. ओके, इंडियन ओशन, देन कॉन्टिनेंटल ऑफ आफ्रिका. ओके, सो दिस इज दी क्रस्ट. जो पण सगळ्या आतमधला जो पार्ट आहे किंवा सगळ्यातला जो सगळ्या बाहेरचा पार्ट आहे क्रस्ट. ओके, सो त्याने क्रस्टने किती मेक्सअप केलेला आहे पार्ट अर्थचा तर तो आहे 1%. राईट, थिनेस्ट लेअर दिस इज 0 to 15 kilometers. ओके, 2 types of crust, firstly continental crust and oceanic crust. Okay, continental average is 30 kilometers and oceanic average is 0 to 8 kilometers. Right, then the mantle. The mantle is the layer below the crust. जो पण क्रस्टचा जो बिलोचा जो पार्ट आहे ओके दॅट इज मॅन्टल. द मॅन्टल इज द लार्जेस्ट लेअर ऑफ द अर्थ. जो पण सगळ्यात मोठा पार्ट आहे किंवा लार्जेस्ट लेअर जो आहे तर तो मॅन्टलचा आहे अर्थवरचा. द मॅन्टल इज डिवायडेड इन टू 2 regions. ओके, सो अप्पर मॅन्टल अँड लोअर मॅन्टल और सेक्शन्स. ओके, सो सी दिस डायग्राम. हिअर इज इनर कोर अँड आउटर कोर अँड देन mantle. The mantle extremely thick, 2900 kilometers. It is too far down to drill. So how do we know what is it made of? So like the minerals olivine, large amount of iron and magnesium. So olivine means an olive green, grey green or brown mineral occurring widely in basalt, peridotite and अदर बेसिक इग्नियस रॉक्स. जे पण इग्नियस रॉक्सपासून क्रिएट झालेले जे आहेत इट इज सिलिकेट कंटेनिंग व्हॅरिंग प्रपोर्शन ऑफ मॅग्नेशियम, आयर्न अँड अदर एलिमेंट्स दॅट इज ऑलिव्हाइन. जे पण मिनरल्सपासून जो पार्ट क्रिएट झाला आहे सो दॅट इज मॅन्टल, लार्ज अमाऊंट ऑफ आयर्न अँड मॅग्नेशियम. देन दी कोर. So this part is 6000 to 856 kilometer, slightly bigger than Mars. Then 33% mass of the Earth. Scientists think made mostly of iron, some nickel, sulfur and oxygen. What is the evidence? The particular way seismic waves travel and the Earth magnetic field. Okay. Then outer core. The core of the Earth is like a ball of very hot metals. The outer core is liquid. The outer core is made up of iron and is very dense. Okay, see this picture. Outer core is 1400 miles thick liquid iron and nickel, and then inner core, firstly mantle and then crust. Okay, so then inner core. The inner core of the earth has temperature and pressure so great that the metals are squeezed together and are not able to move. The inner core is solid. जो पण solid part आहे so this is inner core, then inner mantle, then outer mantle and lastly crust. Okay, so this is the lithosphere and structure of lithosphere. Okay, most important part is core, mantle and crust, and the structure of lithosphere. Okay, their history and introduction. Inner core, then. Okay, thank you.